Hey guys, and today we're going to be doing more Grando upgrades. That's right, we're going to be installing these, and we're going to be installing this new brushless system. So if you want to see how much we can improve this little Grando with rims, tires, and a brushless system, then stick around. First we're going to put the parts on, and then we're going to go crawling. Let's do it. Alright, so real quick, first we're going to look at the crawler from last week's adventure at Paradise Crawl at the RC shop in Titusville. I really didn't see any damage at first. I mean, there's huge cracks in the body from falling, but then I discovered this. I snapped my winch mount. So that's just got to come off. I think what I'll end up doing is I'll make my own bracket out of aluminum to replace this. If you guys want to see that in a video, just let me know. Other than that, and breaking one of these CVs in the front end here, I had no issues whatsoever. But you can see that pretty paint really got scratched up quite a bit. Even my aluminum bars here, I wonder how long they're going to last dragging across all those jagged rocks there. Guess we're going to find out, and that'll be another excuse for another upgrade. So what we're going to do first is we're going to get these rims and tires made up, but it is quite a tedious project. It's not hard, but there's just a whole lot of screw into it, and that could be good or that could be bad. It depends on what you think. I'm going to show you how I've done bead locks for this little guy right here, but I've never actually done bead locks for a 10 scale. These are the Endura bead locks. There will be a link in the description down below. The way I saw to do it is, so the way that I researched and learned that is the best way to do this is, basically you'll take the metal weighted ring and push this into the center first. These tires are also Enduras. They're 2.2s on the rims. These are 150 millimeters by 68 millimeter, and it says crawler tire. It looks a lot like a mud tire. I bought these tires when I didn't know anything about anything when it comes to crawling. Not that I know anything more really. It's just what I bought, and that's what we're going to try. That's what we're going to run. To give you an idea, these are the original tires right here, and quite a big difference. I'm going to have to do some body trimming. But these are pretty plush. They do have nice foams inside. I did read in the reviews on these that some people were like beating the foams up and washing them and drying them and stuff to soften them a little bit, but I'm not doing all that yet. But now that we have the metal ring on the inside, put this to the side. I read, or I watched, that it's best to just go ahead and bolt this bead on first, or this ring, the outer ring. So we're gonna do that first. Now you could thread lock these, would probably be a good idea, but something else that you need to know as well is don't go crazy tightening them, because they will strip out. All right, so we have the first ring screwed on, a whole bunch of screws as I said. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get our tire. Now these tires don't have a set direction, so we're just going to pick a side. We're going to shove this in to the tire. There you go, it's nice and recessed, set in the tire. It's inside the metal ring. And then all we have to do now is we're going to have to slide this ring in, and we'll take our larger screws. I wish I could get a better angle of this for you. Just compress it down just enough to get that screw started. There you go, you see we got two in. We're sitting in the bead on both sides, so I'm just going to go ahead and put the rest of these screws in. Alrighty, look how nice that is, how well it's gripping that tire. Front, inside, and the outside looks good. You can see we have the 6 screws here. We have however many screws here, but they are all in. And you'll also have to put in these little center screws, 4 more into here as well. That just kind of helps clamp the whole rim together. So very cool. I'm going to go ahead and make the rest of these up, and we'll put them on the truck. And then after we do that, then we're going to go ahead and put the new electronics in. All right, so it was a lot of hard work, a lot of screwing in all those tiny little screws And here is the final result. The tires are on. Check this out. Look at the beef on this thing now. I have no idea what's going to be catching, what's going to be dragging, what kind of clearance issues we're going to be having. Well, we're going to find that out tomorrow. But before we can go tomorrow, we have to put in this drivetrain. We got to get this brushless motor in here with this brushless ESC to smooth out those down slopes. Because if you saw the last video, and if you haven't, check it out. But every time I try to go downhill, there was no like real brake going down. If you move just a little bit, it just shot down the hill. So, and it got worse as time went on. So I think the ESC was getting hot as well. So let's jump back to the bench, add some fun, and get this conversion completed. All right, so this is where the legendary little like 550 brushless motor lives. So we're gonna have to take this off because I've never been into one of these before. I have no idea what I'm getting into. We're gonna get into it together. It looks like there's only 2 screws. All right, I'm gonna try to show you guys up in there a little bit. I think you can see in there. You can see they got looks like a brass pinion with a plastic spur. We got the 2 motor mounts there, so we should just be able to pop those out. And then once we get this out, then we can get the new motor installed. That screw is already loose. Both motor mounts were loose. So if you have one of these Grandos and you've been running it any amount of time, you might want to pull that motor cover off there and double check your motor mount screws. And there we go. We got one turbo 550 motor out. Now we're going to go ahead, we're going to crack this box open. Now tell me what you think the perfect KV is for a crawler. I know now, I didn't know when I bought it, that this motor is going to be a little bit too hot, but this is a 4,370 kV motor. Let me know what you think. Is that too hot of a motor for a crawler? But however, there's trouble in paradise. I just tried out the little ESC and there's no modulation to it whatsoever. I guess I got sent the wrong one or I ordered the wrong thing, but that is strictly for a car. It's not going to work in a crawler. It's already 3 a.m. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to take it, and when we come back, we're going to be on location and you'll see whether I have the truck at all, or if it still has the brushless motor in, or if I just put the brushed unit back in it. Let's get to Paradise Crawl. All right, so it's the next day. We've made it here to the RC shop. As you can see, it's a little bit rainy, but that's all right. It's a lot cooler than it was last time. And I was testing out these big tires, and in case you're wondering, the brushless drive did not work out. It was the complete wrong setup. I had to pull it out at 3 o'clock this morning. I put the old brush system back in, so I still have crappy modulation trying to go downhill. And I wanted to give the truck a quick shakedown before I started recording this video. And I put it on the track for 5 minutes, and guess what? Bigger tires mean bigger problems. I already snapped the CV on this side. Last week it was this one. I started to change it last night and I didn't. I wanted to see how long it would last, and the answer to that is 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to make this repair. I did bring the new CV joint with me. I'm going to put that in, and then we're going to get back to some crawling and see how these new tires are going to work out. Just kidding.
Not happy.
Here's our first test. We couldn't make it up here last week. I could have caught it. I let you die by the sword.
That was me letting the truck take it where it wanted to go.
The tires helped in some ways and they hurt in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I think when you get that new motor and ESC in here, afraid to try to cross that bridge.
No way. Okay, so you could tell that that did not go very well. The tires are doing okay. They are killing me though on basically the truck is taller now, so it wants to flip easier, but I am getting much better traction and much better ground clearance. But the biggest issue is the control. We have no bottom end. I think we're burning up that stock ESC, or the motor's burning out or something. And so RC Shop to the rescue. They have the Quick Run Fusion SE, and I didn't know that this was an actual speed controller built into the motor. It's everything you need. Plug in your battery, plug in your receiver, and you're good to go. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to stick this in right now and test it out. All right, there ain't no magic here. 30 minutes later, and I finally got the new Fusion in. This is the motor, this is the ESC. How cool is that? Now we're going to put the top on. We're going to go see how much it helps this truck. All right, we're trying this new stretch with the new setup. Let's see what a difference this makes, or if Mark's driving it's just that bad. You're already looking better, Mark.
That's dramatic. What's that?
Little help.
We have dinosaurs.
I can already tell you it's a night and day difference.
Oh yeah. You have so much control. This is on 3S?
Yeah. Whoa! Dang!
Full control, man. Take this for a minute.
Big difference?
Huge difference. Full control now. No throttle lag or anything. We
Nice.
have full proportional throttle.
That's from the Pro.
I'm going
You're gonna get one? Okay. Well, we just sold one, Mark. We're gonna go get one. Alright guys, so we're just back from the RC shop there in Titusville. If you're ever in that area, super nice guys. Please make sure you go check them out. Plus, you got to give that crawling course a shot for sure. And they do have rentals there as well. So if you don't have a crawler, you can go and rent one. How cool is that? Now, so far, the upgrades that we have done are the metal axles, which definitely helped. The tires, they helped in some ways, they hurt in other ways. These tires are not vented, so they just acted like basically hard balloons, and they never actually did very much deflecting, and that made the truck want to flip back a little more. Plus they're much taller, which increased our center of gravity. With that being said, they did give me much more traction, a lot more ground clearance, and they actually helped the performance of the truck overall. What I'm going to do different with the tires is I'm going to vent these rims to where air can get in and out and it can actually deflect. Plus I'm going to pull the bead locks off. I'm going to soften the foam up on the inside. That way they will actually flex in just a little bit better. And then I might add some little weighted spacers on them just to get them to stand out a little bit more to help with my steering. Now by far, the #1 improvement, the #1 upgrade you should do to a legendary Grando, if you get one, or one of these ready to runs, is it's on this side. This right here, the little Fusion SE. It's the size of a 550 motor, and it's the brushless motor and the ESC, all round, all the same size as a 550 motor. And when we put that thing on here, it made this a whole nother animal. I was able to control it going up the slopes. I had very slow tire speed. I was able to control it coming down the slopes. And that's something that the brush motor and ESC that came with this crawler forbid me to do. So I strongly suggest, before you get tires, before you get metal axles, anything else, get one of these little Fusion SEs. We bought ours on location at the RC shop for like 84 bucks, 85 bucks, if I'm remembering correctly. Installed it in like 10 or 15 minutes, and it made the whole day so much better. We do have a couple more videos planned around this. Yes, we are going to do a lot more robot fighting content as well, so get ready for that. We do have Makers Fair coming in November. There's going to be a huge and a lot of prep for that. But until next time, we're Team Junkyard Dog, and we're out.